Welcome back, college students. Man, I hear you guys are coming off a truly transformative summer retreat, and I am just absolutely thrilled to have you here. Since we've got a ton of really rich material to cover today, we're going to skip the usual agenda and jump right into the focus of today's explainer. We're looking at a fascinating text from our daily read reading titled The Eternal Throne, a Kingdom of Truth and Justice. As you gear up for the fall semester, let me tell you, this framework is going to completely shape how you approach your campus ministry.
Okay, let's dive into this with Psalm 45:6. Your throne, O God, will last forever and ever. A scepter of justice will be the scepter of your kingdom. By looking at this truth right out of the gate, we outline the big picture narrative before we dive into the specific details for your fall semester. We're dealing with an eternal reality here. God is on a throne that literally does not end, and his rule, well, it's defined entirely by justice. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer contrast between the two realities we navigate, right? The world we see every single day versus the spiritual reality we actually belong to. Earthly kingdoms, like America, which we love to celebrate with July 4th fireworks and declarations of independence, they're temporary. They're subject to elections, empires rise, and inevitably, they fall. But contrast that with God's kingdom. His throne lasts forever. It can't be overthrown by any political shift, and it is completely unshakable. So while it's totally fine to celebrate earthly freedoms, your primary citizenship belongs to an unshakable, eternal kingdom. Now, to really grasp the key findings of this text, we need to provide some historical context before diving into the specifics. What exactly is Psalm 45? Well, it's a royal wedding song found right in the Bible, but it's not just a nice piece of poetry. Actually, it serves as a powerful historical shadow. The earthly king celebrated here points forward directly to Jesus, the son of David, who is the true and eternal king. So this isn't just history, it's a profound theological roadmap showing us exactly who Jesus is.
Lesson 1. The King of Truth.
All right, let's highlight the main argument and the supporting evidence regarding the attributes of this king. The text really emphasizes his masculine power and perfect justice. He rides in the cause of truth, humility, and justice. His right hand displays awesome deeds. And look at the decisive, conquering nature of his rule. His arrows literally pierce the hearts of his enemies, and the nations fall beneath him. This is the victorious, all-powerful king you are preparing to represent on your campus. So, what does this all mean for you as college leaders? Make your campus ministry a visible outpost of his eternal kingdom. Think about it. You're not just running a social club. You're establishing a forward operating base for a king whose rule lasts forever. When you step onto campus this fall, you are carrying the authority, the truth, and the justice of that eternal throne. You're inviting other students to step out of temporary earthly kingdoms and into something that will never, ever fall. Lesson 2. The glorified bride. Let's move to this next concept and see how this builds on what we just learned. We've looked at the conquering king, but now the text radically shifts our focus to see exactly who this bride is. In our text, the bride represents the church. She wears embroidered garments, she's filled with joy and gladness, and, most importantly, she is clothed in Christ's righteousness. She honors the king as her Lord. And you know what? Your campus ministry is a small, local expression of this exact dynamic. You are part of the bride, honoring the king, and being clothed entirely by him. So the crucial point is this: the church does not put on its own righteousness, but the righteousness of Christ. This hits on a beautiful cornerstone of Reformed Calvinist theology, the concept of imputed righteousness. The bride is beautified by the king himself. You aren't beautifying yourself through your own intense discipline or sheer willpower. No way. You are completely reliant on and beautifully clothed by the righteousness of Jesus. Now, the text outlines a really clear step-by-step process of how this bride is prepared and beautified over time. Step 1 starts simply by coming to know the king, which is exactly what many of your peers are going to do this fall. Step 2 is the ongoing process of being formed in his image, taking on his characteristics of truth and humility. And finally, step 3 is the ultimate goal, being made ready for the day the king and bride are fully united in glory. It's just a beautiful progression of grace from start to finish.
Campus ministry implications.
To draw a clear conclusion from our research today, we've outlined an actionable, truly inspiring checklist for your fall semester strategy. First up, deliberately acknowledge that your primary citizenship is in God's unshakable kingdom, and let that dictate your priorities. Second, thank God for the specific ways He revealed Jesus' kingship to you at your summer boot camp.
Third, let the word that was planted in you bear real, enduring fruit for generations of students to come. And finally, your one-word mandate for the year: build. Build for his kingdom. I want to leave you with this provocative reflection question taken directly from our source material today. The bride is adorned by the king. She doesn't adorn herself. So how does the image of being beautified by Christ, rather than by your own spiritual effort, change the way you approach campus ministry this fall? Really think about the incredible freedom in that. You don't have to manufacture the results. You just get to reflect the beauty of the king who reigns forever. Let that truth sink in, guys, and let it absolutely transform your campus this year.